Hey guys, it's Rich from Mowers and Blowers OutDone. Psh. Hey, I'm coming at you from around my town. So I'm going to do some little video showcases, intros from around the town that I live in. So none of my local lawnmower repair places had this belt. So I had to mail order it. And I remembered that repairclinic.com is, right down the road from me. So I decided one day I was up there getting some parts for something else. Just out of the whim, I said, hey, do you have this belt for this snapper? And they looked it up. They said, yeah, we have it in stock. All right, so that's how that happened. I said, I'll take one. So we got it, we took it, and I was looking at it, and the bolts were all rusty on it. It was a heck of a time to get, to look at it and do it the easiest way possible, because the bolt on the bottom, and you'll see it in the video, the bolt on the bottom is so rusted that if you attempted to take that off, you're going to have to cut it off, which I ended up cutting one of the bolts off, and to get the plate off that guards the belt so grass doesn't get up in there. So I did cut that one off, and the one that was rusted is connected to the pulley. So I don't know if that's a stud that's built into the pulley system, and then if I cut that off, now I might have to replace a whole pulley system with a stud in it. I really don't know. So I decided not to mess with that one and figure out a way to get around removing that pulley. Now if the nut and everything was good, you could just take that off and pull that pulley up, slip the belt on, which would have been really simple. But if you are in the same predicament that I was in, where you can't take that bolt off, that nut off the bolt, because it's so rusted or it's stripped out or whatever happens to it over, so many years of using it, and grass and water, get up in there and rust things out. But I'll show you, if you watch through my video, you'll see my struggles, you'll see my wins, you'll see my losses, and if you can learn how to get this simply on there without removing that bolt and take a chance of stripping the nut off or stripping it off, that would be the way to go right there. So just stay tuned and you'll see what I got going on. Hey, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any upcoming episodes. MBO Backyard Fixes.
Thank you all very much. So until I see you all again, don't forget, it's donut time.
What do we got? What are we looking at? Well, I picked up the snapper, and it doesn't have a belt on it, so it's missing the belt. Hey guys, we are going to change the oil, and we're going to let it run a little while. We're going to put some seafoam in the oil, like that. Some seafoam in there, and put some seafoam in the gas, and then we will let it run for about 5 minutes before we change the oil. So we are changing the oil. If you can see it going in there. Let's take a look underneath. So I just ran it a few minutes. We got to scrape all this off. all this stuff. The blade looks relatively new, and that's pretty sharp. I don't even think the blade needs to be sharpened. So just gotta get this grass out, this old grass, get all that taken out while the oil drains. Well, fellas, you guys want to keep your deck clean, because you know what they say about a clean deck. There ain't no women resist a clean deck. Got a nice, beautiful yard. You mow that yard nice and beautiful, and keep your deck clean, you'll be all right. So you can see where, you know, it's starting to rust out because all this buildup on there. You gotta get that cleaned out once in a while, fellas. Here is your snapper oil change, and look at the filter. Looks like it could use a little something. Come on, people. Don't let your filter get like this. Hey guys, so this is the snapper that we are working on, and it was, oh, I don't know, 10:30 at night. I was working on it out here in the dark with flashlights. Couldn't really videotape it, but here's some of the items that I needed. Breaker bars, flathead screwdrivers, some sockets, and this is the model number that went on here. So this is 7046784YP. It is a Briggs and Stratton belt, and this is the model number. So this is MRP216014B. So that's what that is. And then this one is part number 82525. That you did need that because there were certain parts that went for just this 82525 number. So when you're looking stuff up, remember that. But it's a 6 horsepower Briggs engine. And let's see what we did. So the belt is on there because I put it on there last night. So let's go underneath here and let's look. So there is this plate here that goes on here. Covers this up like that. Goes in there like that. And as you see, we got a nice shiny bolt for it. Alright, so you have to remove the blade, which is, what, a 9/16 is it? Yep, 9/16. Removes the blade. 1/2 inch worked on the other nuts and bolts, I guess, right? Alright, so I thought this was going to be a little easier, but I guess not. So let's look at this and assess the situation up here. So this one works with a drive disc. So here's this disc. This rolls on there. And so this constantly spins. And then when you engage it, this will spin to spin the wheels. Alright. So there is a spring that was taken off. So we'll see. There's a spring that goes right there. If I can even do it from that angle. So we took off that spring, and these nuts over here you don't need to take off. Right? So here and here. This one here, you do not need to take that off. It's so sunny out here I can't see what I'm doing. But you do not have to take this off, which I did. And this is the one that goes to the, this will be the old bolt, and the new bolt is that one right there. So right there. So we got that to take off that bottom plate. Alright, now inside here this comes off. So this is this one right here. This goes on the other side, and then this screws into it. Alright. So some people take this whole mechanism off, and you can take this off, and then you can put the belt on. But we'll show you in a minute why we couldn't do that, and why I didn't attempt to do that. So what I did was I moved this belt, and see that little crack right there? I slid the belt in between that crack. So let's see if we can get this up here. Alright, so in between the disc there is a little crack right there. You can slide that belt through. Okay, so we slid that belt through there, but you had to take off that nut that was on the side, that nut and that little fastener, because that was actually in the way. So you just took that out. Alright, slid that through there, put this belt on the bottom pulley. So there is a bottom pulley in here. Let's see if we can get, I don't know how to get it, but there is a bottom pulley on there. Put that around there, and then push this through right there. Once you push that through there, you'll have the belt on this side, so it'll come through this hole. But the belt's not long enough to go over the shaft. Alright, so what I did, just unbolted the engine. There's 3 bolts that hold the engine on. Unbolted the engine, tilted this over, slid that up around it, bolted the engine back on. Alright, so what happened was, this one here, and I can't see the camera whatsoever, or the phone camera, whatever it is. This one here, the nut was facing down, so the nut was on this side, so it rusted right to the bolt. This one here, the nut was on the top side, so if you look at it, the bottom side rusted, but you could still get the nut off the top. It looks clean and fresh. So if the nut was on the top, it would have came off. Now here is the nut for the pulley. Alright, see that? That's not coming off. So I could try to take it off, cut it off, whatever happens, and then have to try to replace that pulley. I don't know if that's a solid stud built into the pulley. I have no clue. So I decided not to mess with this, just Leave it alone. Leave it alone, Rich. Leave it alone. So unbolt the engine, and I had to cut this one off. And it's on. So I had some flashlights out here last night and hurried up and bolted it back on. Alright, so now we are going to put it back together. So we are going to put this plate up in here. Goes in like that with the new bolt, and that will be our guard to help keep debris out off the belt. So that is back on now. So the plate, I'll show you what it looks like on. So there we go. So it covers up that belt. You can see how rusted that is. So imagine the nut down there. Well, right here's one. So imagine that, trying to get that off, right? Impossible. Maybe not impossible, but anyways, it's back on. So next, we're going to put this back in here. So this goes in. This goes on the other side. Let me unscrew it. Alright. So that goes in here like that. You can see it goes in. And this is going to go in there. I don't know if I can do it. Can I do it? Switch hands. Nope, I'm not gonna try it. Alright, pause it. We'll be right back. Alright, that's back on right there. So next, let's install the blade. Put the blade back on. Alright, the blade is back on. That is all done underneath there. Alright, then we reattached this right here. We got 1, 2, and 3 nuts to put back on. It's all nice and tight. The bag just slides over this, nothing to attach, and it hooks to the handle. So that's it for that. Alright, then the next thing we do is put this spring on right here. So it goes on here. And you can probably do it with my hand. Maybe, maybe not. There we go. I did do it with my hand, but I had to press down on top of here and it will come off. Alright, back to normal. Then the bag goes on. Just grab that real fast. Clips on up there at the top. Grab that and it slides on. Oh, let's put that on first. So slide that over top of there, then push this on right there. There you go. There's our snapper. Back to normal. So I picked up the snapper lawnmower at the auction. I believe it was like 10 bucks or something like that, and needed a little carb clean. Easy, got that done out of the way, and I noticed it didn't have a drive belt on it. So I wasn't sure if I even wanted to replace the drive belt, or did I want to just flip it over. Fast, easy, simple. Sometimes it's better to buy something, clean it up, flip it over real fast, make a few bucks, move on to the next one. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed the snapper belt replacement video, and you learned something. You learned how to do it faster, easier, simpler. If you have problems with your bolts not coming off. So, hey, if you like this video, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. You can get notified every time I put out a new video. And again, this is Rich with Mowers and Blowers, OutDone. And we'll see you at the auction.